I know first, we are AI company. Our main solution is a predictive algorithm that generates daily forecast for the financial market and identifies the most promising investment opportunities on a daily basis. We are utilizing artificial intelligence. More specifically, we are using deep learning, artificial neural networks, genetic algorithms to predict the financial markets. Our predictive algorithm is generating daily forecasts for over 13,500 assets from different asset classes: equities, ETFs, commodities, currencies, cryptocurrencies, interest rates, indices, with daily forecasts for multiple timeframes, short-term, mid-term, and also long-term. This is a global solution. We are covering over 50 global stock exchanges, including the stock exchanges in the US, Canada, Europe, Asia, including China, Japan, India, and more. And if we jump into some recent example from Friday, this is the forecast that our AI algorithm was generating on Friday. It was sent to our clients before the market opening on Friday. It's part of the highest implied volatility stock picks. And we can see here stocks that actually moved against the market. The market was negative on Friday, and the AI algorithm identified those opportunities as opportunities that are supposed to go up. We can find here, of course, RGTI, the quantum stock. We can find here REKR. We can find here KOPN, BBAI. And those stocks actually outperformed the market on Friday. On the other hand, the algorithm had actually bearish forecast for NKLA, and we can see that in accordance with the forecast, NKLA dropped by more than 2%. This is just a quick illustration of the daily forecast that our AI algorithm is generating. In the webinar, we're going to share some recent predictions and live predictions in the very same way. This is just one time frame, the 1 month time frame. We are going to talk about the different time frames in this webinar, and we are going to assist you to utilize the different indicators that the AI algorithm is generating on a daily basis with the daily forecast. So this is one live example. And if we're going back to the I Know First team, the I Know First predictive algorithm was developed by our unique R&D team that's being led by Dr. Lipa Reutemann, our co-founder, expert in the field of artificial intelligence, machine learning, chaos theory, with over 20 years of experience. He got his PhD from the Weizmann Institute of Science, and is expert in the field of artificial intelligence. He is leading our unique R&D team that basically includes PhDs, AI and machine learning experts. We have math professor from Tel Aviv University, as well as employees with the background of data science, math, statistics, computer science, of course, and also IDF veterans, specifically from the intelligence unit. My name is Yaron Golger. I'm the CEO and co-founder of I Know First. I'm also the chairman of the Israeli FinTech board in the Israeli Export Institute. I'm lecturing at one of the leading universities here in Israel. I'm an engineer with an MBA. You met already Ben, our head of advisory, that's leading our connections to institutionals. Ben used to work for one of the leading banks in Israel, Bank Hapoalim. The I Know First predictive algorithm is being trusted by the world's leading hedge funds, banks, investment houses, family offices, as well as brokerage firms, and also retail investors from all over the world that's utilizing the predictive algorithm in order to identify opportunities in the market on a daily basis. In this list, you can find leading banks, leading hedge funds, and also leading investment houses. With two of them, we are launching right now different AI power products. With Meitav Investment House, we have launched the first AI-powered mutual fund. It's being listed in the Tel Aviv Stock Exchange. It's available in the market here. And we are now in the process of developing and launching additional products that are utilizing our AI algorithm. We are going to talk about that in the webinar as well. The solution that you're about to see has received several awards from different entities from all over the world: Entity Data in Japan, UBS, the Geneva Wealth Tech Forum. And here you can see some also very, very good friend of mine. No, I'm joking, Miles. He's not a friend of mine, but we met with him. We are really proud to also to cooperate with one of the leading university in Israel. We are lecturing them. We are lecturing about artificial intelligence, about fintech, about different aspects of fintech that are related to AI. And in the website, you can also find several media coverages about the I Know First algorithm. You can find it also in our YouTube channel that is also includes different reports about the algorithm. In the website, you also can find different reviews that can help you to identify the package that is relevant for you guys. Miles, please.
Yeah, so for those of you who aren't already in our WhatsApp community, we have a WhatsApp community where we share live updates. We give you guys a lot more content. We give you guys live forecasts, and on your screen you have the QR code to join. And you guys really should join, because tonight after the webinar, we're going to be sending our Mag 7 forecast. So you guys really don't want to miss it. So scan the QR code and join our WhatsApp community.
Okay. Thank you very much. And yeah, please.
And we also have our I Know First YouTube channel. Here again, you could scan the QR code to go subscribe to our channel, and we give you more livestock forecasts. And additionally, we give you guys weekly market reviews where we explain how the markets are doing and what are some big trends that are going on. So yeah.
Thank you. So you can just use your mobile phone to scan the QR code that you can find here. You will join automatically to our WhatsApp group. And of course, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Mike is managing our YouTube channel, and there is very, very interesting content there. I can promise that, and some surprises as well. Right, Miles?
Yep, a lot of good surprises there.
Okay, so basically, we are offering two products to our clients. On one hand, it's possible to utilize the predictive algorithm on a daily basis to identify opportunities in the market by using the daily forecast that our algorithm is generating. Basically, to use the predictive algorithm as a decision supporting tool that assisting you to identify the best opportunities in the investment universes that are relevant to you, basically. So this is the first solution that we are offering. We are going to talk about that. We are going to talk about this solution in the first part of the webinar. And on top of that, we have developed several systematic trading strategies. The idea here is to convert the daily prediction into a portfolio, basically, and to develop AI-powered financial products. So we have recently launched the first AI-powered mutual fund that is being listed in the Tel Aviv Stock Exchange. And right now we are doing the very same process in the different regions across the globe. And we are going to share with you several systematic strategies in the second part of this webinar. On the last part of this webinar, we are also going to talk about the upcoming month, about the opportunities that we see for February, the forecast that we see for February. And as Miles says, we are going to share also some of the forecast in our WhatsApp group. So feel free to join to our WhatsApp group. So the I Know First predictive algorithm includes three components. The first component is assisting you to identify the most promising investment opportunities across in the market. It could be in the S&P 500 universe, it could be in the Russell 1000 universe, Russell 2000 universe, or you can customize it based on specific region or based on specific sector. The second component, besides the opportunities that the algorithm is basically generating on a daily basis, it's possible to use the algorithm in order to receive stock market intelligence, to identify leading sectors, to identify the direction of the main indices, the forecast, the S&P 500 forecast, the Nasdaq forecast, the Dow Jones forecast. And it's also possible to use this component in order to identify emerging regions from all over the world, and also sectors and regions and indices that we should avoid in the market today. The third component is a customized solution. Basically, we are providing to each client a customized prediction based on each client portfolio. So basically, we are training our forecast based on each client portfolio, and by using this entire solution, the three components, it's possible on one hand to identify opportunities, to receive stock market intelligence, to focus on the leading sectors, and also to receive a daily forecast to our existing portfolio. So how we do it? Our AI algorithm is utilizing quantitative data sets that are coming from the entire financial market, data that's coming from the interest rate environment, data that's coming from the different equities, stock markets that we are tracking, the commodities market, the currencies market, even the cryptocurrencies market. We are adding the daily data to our stocks database. We are managing database with historical data. And from that stage, without any human intervention, the AI algorithm is building the complex networks that exist in the financial market. There are thousands of correlation sets in the financial market, and the AI algorithm is able to model those and to build this network from scratch on a daily basis without any human intervention. Before each trading day, the AI algorithm is generating the most updated forecast for the different time frames, for the short term, for the midterm, and also for the long term. There is also a feedback loop here. The AI algorithm is also learning from each forecast, from each successful forecast, from each failure. It's part of the input that we are utilizing in order to generate the daily forecast. In terms of the technology, we are combining different AI approaches into one AI algorithm. We are utilizing deep learning, artificial neural network, genetic algorithms, reinforcement learning, in order to separate and to focus on the most predictable assets in the market. So on a daily basis, if we're taking the Russell 1000 or the S&P 500 as an example, the algorithm is identifying which assets from the S&P 500, which stocks are the most predictable ones, is filtering out the stocks that are less predictable. And we are going to show you in this webinar how you can also focus on the most predictable assets on a daily basis. It's one of the most important indicators that the AI algorithm is basically generating on a daily basis. So in terms of the stock picking process, we are screening the entire US stock market. We are applying our unique technology in order to identify the most predictable stocks. And then we're creating a ranking in order to identify the best stocks for each time frame, for the short term, midterm, and also long term. And this process is done on a daily basis. So every day, when you turning on your computer, your laptop or PC in the morning, you're basically receiving a fresh and updated heat map with the best opportunities for the upcoming time frames, for the short term, for the midterm, and also for the long term. This is an example how the heat map is basically looks. The green cells represent assets with positive forecast. The red cells are representing assets with negative forecast. And you can find here two indicators that the algorithm is basically calculating and generating on a daily basis for each time frame. The first one called the signal. The signal represents the expected movement of each asset. It could be a positive movement or it could be a negative movement. And the second indicator called the predictability. This is the historical correlation between the past prediction and the actual market movements. The predictability ranges between -1 and 1, and the higher it gets, it means that the asset is more predictable. We are applying several filters in order to focus on the most predictable assets, but always please utilize the predictability and analyze the predictability of each forecast that you are receiving. Don't worry, we're going to show you a lot of examples, and we are going to assist you to how to basically use this indicator in the best way. But we can see that sometimes the algorithm is identifying opportunities for long. There are some opportunities for short. We are going to discuss it as well in the webinar. So every day you are receiving an heat map, basically 6 heat maps for each time frame. For the short term, 3 days, 7 days, 14 days, 1 month, 3 months, and also 1 year. And as you can see in this example, one thing that I would like to highlight is that the long-term predictions, the prediction for the 1 month, 3 months, and 1 year have higher predictability. If you analyzing the predictability that you can find at the bottom of each cell, you can see that the longer time frames have higher predictability than the shorter ones. Just compare the numbers that you see here with the numbers that you see here. Therefore, we do suggest to utilize the long-term predictions when you're using the predictive algorithm. Even if you're using the predictive algorithm for short-term trading, always make sure that the asset is predictable, and make sure that the direction is actually aligned in the different time frames that you are receiving. So this is the first tip for today. So you're going to receive 6 time frames of your preferred investment universe, the investment universe that you are going to choose, with the best opportunities for each time frame, basically, in the very same way as you can see it here. So yeah, if we're jumping for some opportunities for the recent week. Miles, please tell us, what do we see here?
Yeah, so here we have a 3-day time frame it was updated on January 27th, and we could see stocks like Palantir up 2.84%. We have Capital One Financials, you have General Electric also up 4.5%. And at the bottom, you can see Meta. Meta was up 6.10%. And actually on our YouTube channel, a day before, on January 26th, we gave a Meta forecast. And actually the next day was when January 27th was when the DeepSeek news came out and the market tanked. But actually Meta was positive. Meta actually went up 1.95% the next day. And so here you could see just the algorithm giving you guys the best forecasts. And so you could see in these 3 days, the S&P was down -0.5%. And while the annual first average return was positive 1.23%.
Yeah, outperformance of almost more than 1.5% outperformance versus the benchmark versus the S&P itself. This investment universe includes S&P 500 forecast. So basically, we managed to build a portfolio from the S&P that is outperforming the S&P. But this is a simple use case of using a short-term prediction, a short-term forecast, and to build a portfolio based on those forecast equally weighted portfolio, as you can see here. And yes, Meta was a very interesting opportunity. By the way, we chose Meta to do a video about Meta because we saw the high long-term predictability of Meta. So it's a perfect example. Always when you're choosing, even if you're choosing a short-term stock, always check and make sure that the stock is predictable, that the predictability is high, basically. And here we jump into the next time frame, the 7 days forecast. As we can see here, the 10 stocks that the algorithm identified in one of our packages for the 7 days time frame. Again, we can see the outperformance versus the S&P 500. Take a look at the predictability, the number that you see in the bottom. As said, it ranges between -1 and 1. 0 is around, if I'm simplifying it, 0 is around 50%. So everything that above 0 is something that you're going to basically receive in the forecast. So this is the 7 days time frame. Interesting to see CVS here. And this is a 14 days forecast that was generating on January 16th, the 10 stock that the algorithm identified.
And also in this forecast, you can see stocks like Citi, you could see JPM, you see some of these banking stocks, and the banking sector has been doing pretty well recently, and our AI algorithm is picking up on that, so it's giving you some picks from the banking sector.
Exactly, it's interesting to see also Logi here that made a very nice performance. This is an example of our dividend stocks package. So it's really interesting again to see the outperformance. And this is an example of our 1 month forecast, 1 month top 10 forecast. This forecast includes not only the 10 stocks to buy, the 10 opportunities, it includes also a daily S&P 500 forecast. And in this case, we can see the 10 stocks that the algorithm identified basically 1 month ago, by the end of December 2024. Time is flying. We are already, after 1 month, we are already in February 2025. We can see here the 10 stocks. Among the stocks, we can find here TWLO. Mike is going to talk about TWLO later on. We can see here also Logi again. We can see HIT. We can see Zillow. We can see Google that made very nice return at the beginning of the year so far. And the overall performance is like 12 times higher than the benchmark, the market. And of course, the S&P 500 forecast is also positive for this time frame. So it's a very good, and basically it's one of the most popular packages that we do have. So I believe that a lot of the people that are in this webinar today are receiving those opportunities on a daily basis. So this is the opportunity from the 13th of December. And another exciting prediction is the 3-month one, right, Miles?
Yeah, so on the 3-month time frame, we see an amazing forecast. I mean, the annual first average return was almost 49%, while the S&P 500 went up 3.90%. And we have stocks like Shopify, Palantir, Robinhood. But what's very interesting is that we have a lot of AI software companies like Shopify, Palantir, Robinhood, DocuSign, TWLO, and these AI software companies are taking the market by storm. And so we see a lot of the same type of companies in the same forecast, and all of them outperformed by a lot.
Right. So we can find here, as you said, MSTR, Palantir, Robinhood, TWLO, HIT. Very interesting. And again, please don't forget the S&P 500 forecast that is part of every top 20, top 10, or top 5 package. It's a very important market indicator because it's providing you insights whether you need to be in the market or not. If the S&P 500 forecast is positive, it's great time to build a portfolio, to focus on the top part of this heat map. if the S&P 500 is forecast is negative, you should be more careful. You should use the bottom if you're able to short sell stocks. You should use the bottom of the heat map. We will see later how to do that. Wow, take a look at the DocuSign, right? Very interesting performance. It's only in a 3-month time frame. And of course, we have seen the MSTR, the movement of the Bitcoin beyond the 100,000. And it's interesting to see that the AI algorithm was able to capture those opportunities. And also, please look at the predictability. Again, compare the predictability that you see here. For example, with the predictability that you see here, you can see that this is the 14 days time frame. You can see that the predictability is around, let's say, 0.4 on average. But if we're moving to the 1 month, where we can see higher predictability, it's around, I would say, 0.53. And if we are utilizing the 3-month forecast, we can see that we are already, we have higher level of predictability, 0.6, 0.7. And if we even utilizing the 1-year forecast, we are receiving even higher predictability. Look at General Motors, 0.85, or WSM. It's a very, very high predictability, or MSTR. I strongly suggest to focus on the most predictable stocks, because this is what the algorithm is trying to do on a daily basis, to focus on the most predictable assets. And therefore, I do suggest to use this predictability score when you're taking an investment decision. And of course, you can see a passive portfolio that was built basically 1 year ago, based on the mid-cap investment universe. So, see the correlation between the predictability and the actual return. It's very, basically very interesting to see MSTR and UPST return, and also to compare it with their predictability. Not every forecast is going to have a similar average, okay? It's important to highlight, but it's a very good example how high predictability is also have some correlation with strong returns. By the way, not everything, as you can see here, for instance, the 1-month forecast, we don't have 100% accuracy. Of course, you can see that it's not always the case. For instance, the Netflix forecast here, the Netflix short-term forecast was wrong. Also, the General Motors short-term forecast was wrong. So, but on average, the idea is to utilize it in a systematic way, and it's a very good tool. I don't know any other way to invest in the market without using AI to support my investment decisions. I can tell you that. Now, I saw some questions whether we do have an ETF coverage, whether we are providing also daily forecast for ETFs. So the answer is yes. In the very same way, we are generating daily forecast and identifying opportunities among the ETF universe. Here you can see a short-term forecast based on ETF universe. You can see the 3-month forecast. You can see the specific ETFs that the AI algorithm identified. You can find some leverage ETFs such as TQQQ and FAS, but also you can find here KCE, XSD, XLK, and it's interesting to see that the ETF portfolio managed to outperform the benchmark as well. And here you can see a 1-year portfolio that's based on our ETF package. Again, focusing on the ETFs, focusing on the most predictable ETFs, is providing very interesting returns. So again, you can see the specific ETFs that the algorithm identified 1 year ago. We can find here the technology sector. We can find here the banking sector. We can find here additional interesting ETFs. So it can also provide to you on a daily basis ETF ideas, basically. And I do suggest to utilize this interesting investment universe as well. And another important thing, the markets are not always positive, as we all know, and the algorithm is able to give you some guidance regarding that as well. The first indicator you guys should look whenever you're using the predictive algorithm is the S&P 500 forecast. It could be positive, as we saw by the end of December 2024, but it could be also negative, as we see here. On the left side, we can see a negative S&P 500 forecast that the algorithm was generating on March 9th, 2023. And we can see that the strongest signals, the numbers that you can see here, were stronger in the bottom of this heat map, if you're comparing the bottom with the top part of this heat map. And among those assets, you can find many stocks from the banking industry. You can find here First Republic Bank, but more specifically, of course, you can find here Silicon Valley banks that basically collapsed during this period. So this is a very good tool to identify negative markets. If you can utilize those signals to show the market and to build short selling portfolio, it's possible, or you can stay out of the market during this period and wait until you have again positive S&P 500 forecast. Usually the negative movements of the markets are very short in time and very violent sometimes. On the right side, we can see another example from the first Trump period, basically. It's from the end of February 2020. We saw a negative S&P 500 forecast, and the assets with the strong, or the stocks with the strongest signal, came from the bottom of this heat map, as you can see right here.